2 weeks ago, I went to the NeuroTech EBRAINS Summit in Brussels. It's incredible. It's almost like reading your mind. Medical neuroscience is progressing and is getting into complete fiction. These things are accessible to everyone. So why not using them to benefit our health? From curiosity to NeuroTech conference, that was my journey during this past year. So the past year in October, I started my neuropsychology course in the Moscow Institute of Psychoanalysis. And I started this journey from very zero, meaning that I didn't know anything about neuropsychology before. I did study traditional psychology, but not neuropsychology. So this was a very new field for me, very fascinating, and I embarked on it without any further plans. And curiously, I have been developing, and that led me to scientific part of neuropsychology and neuroscience in general. And this year, just 2 weeks ago, I went to the NeuroTech EBRAINS Summit in Brussels. So today I'm going to talk what it is all about and what I learned from it. EBRAINS Summit in Brussels is an event specialized in neurotechnology in all its shapes and forms. So starting from medical neuroscience till neuro AI. And I didn't research much, all the details about the event, so I was quite surprised to find many experts coming from computational neuroscience in this event, even though my specialization is more medical. So what did I learn and which things fascinated me the most? First, medical neuroscience is progressing and is getting into complete fiction, like it looks like fiction. So there are technologies that are already available to create digital twins of your brain. Why do we need digital twins of our brains? It's needed. One of applications of digital twins for our brains is to simulate different interventions in our brains and predict the results of those interventions. So this means that when we create the digital twin, they can do certain, for example, surgery, and they're gonna see how better approach it and to which real results it gonna lead if they're gonna do this intervention on your brain. So this helps to avoid many errors, mistakes, and make good prediction of different interventions. Let's talk about futurism in neuroscience. Do you know that there are certain linguistic neuroscience research available already that is predicting some certain words that are existing from the thoughts in your brain. It's incredible. It's almost like reading your mind. So neuroscience already at this point is able to identify certain words that you are currently thinking. Imagine the implications for different industries from this. It kind of even getting scary. Do you agree that reading your thoughts and using these thoughts to, for example, cater targeted advertising or even targeted news can be really scary? So that's why neuroscience face one of the biggest challenges. It's the legislation. And there was also specialized talks during eBrains about ethics and legal aspect of neuroscience. Because honestly, the legislation is far behind of the evolution of our technology, very rapid evolution, and the current laws cannot catch up with it. So I was surprised about pessimistic tone in those type of speeches, in those type of presentations by experts in the fields, saying that it might be not such a good futuristic way of living if we don't regulate the development of neurotechnology. That's really a thought to think. If real experts, if scientists are very concerned about ethics and the impact of neurotechnology that we're actually developing. That is a big alarm. What I didn't expect is actually to meet so many people at EBRAINS Summit that are dedicated to computational neuroscience, meaning people that are developing neuro AI models that are based on how our brain functions and kind of copying the same connections that we have in our neural pathways and apply it to AI. That was a big surprise for me. I didn't know how to face it because, to be honest, I'm not a technical person. As I mentioned, I'm very keen on neurophysiology, neuropsychology, and medical part of neuroscience. But I'm not an expert in computational neuroscience, but that means it really broadened my perspective because I was able to meet with people and converse about this part of neuroscience and how they actually work, how they approach these kind of challenges. I've heard about different type of issues that these people face, such as lack of investment, a lack of resources in certain labs, and how these people, some of the scientists, are trying to move to more industrial line of work, meaning working for some actual companies that are producing AI-based products. That was kind of interesting and refreshing aspect for me because, as I mentioned before, I didn't meet many computational neuroscientists in my daily work. So eBrains is really specialized in that part in neuro AI quite a lot, but we also were able to learn general things about brain evolution, about different structures of our brain, and something that really fascinated me a lot about this conference, that we touched even the neuroscience in art and how art affects brain health. The most fascinating part of neuroscience, at least at eBrains, for me was the research on the art and its influence on our brain. And there was a specialized speeches and people who do this kind of research, who analyze the impact on our brain from different types of creative activities, such as movement, dance, singing, playing musical instruments, different types of creative activities, and how they actually promote the brain health. In these talks, I was fascinated by the research about how the music is applied in the environment of surgeries, meaning that there are already some clinics that during surgeries use certain musical performances to help their patients in order to achieve better results or reduce anxiety, reduce stress, reduce pain. So for different kind of outcomes, they use different type of songs, primarily some classical music that is proven to have real benefits for our health and better outcomes in surgeries. That was such an interesting topic that I approached with people to learn more about their research and check their presentation deeper, because I think that's something that can be applicable in my events as well. So at physical space that we're building, I'm planning to host different type of creative events. And what we are also planning is also to measure brain waves and how these activities affect brain and which kind of benefits they bring. So this completely correlates with my own research, let's say, future research, and my own curiosity to understand how brain health can be promoted by engaging in different creative activities such as dance, singing, creating some new pieces of art, these kind of things. Because these things are accessible to everyone. So why not using them to benefit our health? All the activities and exercises that benefit our brain health are going to be shared in my Neuro Elevate membership, which is going to be live on 10th of January. So if you are interested to improve your brain health and find tons of different exercises, some of them creative, some of them more physical, some of them more mental, and all of them going to be accessible during the program, which going to include coaching, trainings, recorded trainings, Q&A sessions, and also nervous system regulation exercises in order to improve your overall nervous system health. So I'm gonna link to the program below, so you can check the details and see if this can be of interest for you.